Let's take a look at a tool I'm creating for Adobe After Effects. Right now I'm calling it FreshCrumbs, and basically it allows you to use markers in Adobe After Effects more effectively so you can navigate anywhere in your project to find different points of interest really quickly. So here you can see the panel. We have a list of all the markers within the project. As I work, I generate a lot of just temporary markers, and so I don't necessarily want to always see all the markers here. So in this quick filter list here, we have, we can dial it down to just see just the comp markers or just the layer markers. And then we also have one called FreshCrumbs, and FreshCrumbs are markers created here within the script itself. That way you can basically create, they're not really custom markers, but they're markers with an identifier so that you can maybe just place very specific markers that you want to be able to find really quickly. And so here you can see I have 4. So up here in the quick filter list, it tells you how many filters you have, or I'm sorry, how many markers you have in that category. And then I also have 4 After Effects markers. So these are just standard markers. So you can use it with just regular markers, or you can create the crumb style markers, which I'll show you in a second. Now, right now, the quick filter is on simple. We can also toggle it to advanced, and that just gives you more options. So a little bit more granular breakdown of the different markers. And this is nice. It'll automatically update. So as you change the color of markers, it'll automatically populate the list of all the markers you have of different colors. So if I just come down here to grid start, and I change this to red, we'll say, okay, let's go ahead and refresh. And I come up here, and now you can see that I have 1 red marker and 3 yellow. So I'm just gonna come back down here and change this back to yellow for now. In the list, you can use standard keyboard shortcuts to select all. So you can do Control A. We can hold down Control and click non-contiguous markers. We can hold down Shift and select contiguous markers. And let's go back to all here real quick. And I'm going to go back to simple mode just for now. So we can change the look of the list here. We can hold down Shift and click on crumb, and we can turn off various aspects. So the name, obviously it's just the name of the marker. For type, is it a comp marker or a layer marker? Layer name, comp name, and then color. And you can choose what element you want to space those different categories out. And right now I have it on hide labels always. So if you put this on never and say okay, it's going to go ahead and populate and say, okay, this is the name, main box, type, layer, and so on. If you want, you can put this on first only, and that's just going to hide the first layer category, and then you'll see the rest of them. And I typically put it on hide layers always, so I do not see those because I know the pattern. I don't need to see those labels, make it a little bit clearer. Now I'm going to just turn off a few of these, so all I see is the name and color. We have project, and this is another kind of type of way to filter out your markers up here. Right now it's showing all the markers in my project. And if I click on the button, it'll switch over to active, and it's only going to show the markers in my active comp. We obviously have a search bar here, and so we can just start typing in for any category I want. So if I just start typing in none, I'll find all the markers that don't have a color to them. If I just type in yellow, I'll obviously find all the ones with yellow, and we can type in any kind of text we want, and it updates in real time. We can also use Boolean features here. So if I say fade or none, now I get all the markers that have no color and have the word fade in it. Okay, obviously we can click on a marker here and click on find, and we're going to jump to the active comp, and the CTI is going to move to that marker. Let me move to this one. We'll click on find, and here we are in another comp, and right to the marker. So that's really nice, especially when you have large projects. The other thing we can do is let me jump back over to this grid. If I want to locate this marker within the list up here, and if you have numerous markers, it can be probably a little bit tedious, and instead of having to type in main box here to find it, is what I can do is I can hold down Shift and click on Find, and it's going to jump the CTI to the closest marker and then also locate it up here in FreshCrumbs. So let me hold down Shift and click on Find, and there we go. The CTI jumps to the marker and we have it located here. If I select a range of markers, I'll just select them all. If we hover over the Find button, we can see that if I hold down Alt, it's going to go to the next available marker that's in my selected list. And if I hold down Control, it'll go to the previous. So I can just hold down Alt and it's going to cycle through all the markers that I have selected in my list box up here. And then Control will go the other way. To create the crumb style markers, all I have to do is click on crumb here. Now, if I have a marker already selected up here, it will edit it. So if we hover over here, we can see that we have a keyboard shortcut and we can force the creation of a crumb. So I'm gonna hold down Alt and click it. And here we can select which color we want. So I can just say blue, and we can just say test here. Now, whatever you put in the first box, that's going to be the name of the marker. If you put something over here in the second box, it's going to just be part of the comment. And so you will not see this on the timeline, but you will see it up here. So let's just say, take a look here. We'll click enter. And so now we can see up here, it says test, take a look here. And I made it blue, which probably wasn't a really easy color to read, but we can see that it only says test down here. So if we open this, we can see that whatever is in the first line will be the name of the marker down here. And then take a look, anything after the first line will just show up as part of the comments up here and not visible in the timeline. And the marker that I'm using right now to create FreshCrumbs is just these 3+ symbols. So anything with the 3+ symbols will show up when we go to FreshCrumbs here. That's what's making these markers show up in the list. That's the difference between the FreshCrumb markers and the standard After Effects markers. Let's jump back over here to all. And another thing we can do, if I find all the markers that are yellow, I can select them. And if I hover over crumb here, we can click on Control and we can change the color of a bunch of markers at one time. So let's say that we want them green now. And so we're able to change those all. And now my list went away because here I have yellow and I don't have any yellow markers anymore. So I'm gonna click clear. We refresh that and we can see that we have our green markers here. So if I have multiple layers selected and I'm going to hold down Alt and click on crumb to make sure we create a new one. And we'll just say new crumb. We'll say okay. And it's going to create a marker on all of our selected layers. And then when we cycle through these, so I'll hit Control to go to the left and then Alt to go to the right. It's going to select all those layers, which is pretty nice. And let me just go, Control will go here. And if I go to make a crumb here where I already have one on this layer, and I'm just going to say new marker, we'll get a notification that we have a marker conflict since we can only have one marker per frame on a layer or comp. So we can either offset the marker. So by default, it's just by one frame, or we can overwrite the marker. So here I'm just going to put in 10 and click OK. And we just created a new marker and it offset it by 10 frames. So that's just a quick overview of FreshCrumbs, kind of give you the basic idea of how it works, how you can incorporate it into your project. If this is something that you're interested in, and if you have an idea that you'd like to see incorporated, give me a shout out. I'd love to hear what you thought.